Pete Carroll. He's got an injury as not him personally, his team. Although after the way he ran around last week,
he never
probably
gets
did
hurt.
strain something the way he was moving, but my goodness. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, rookie first-round receiver, a guy for whom they have a lot of high hopes, had a great long play in the preseason game that they were in most recently, and I think he got himself injured as he was falling to the ground after that long catch and run.
Right.
Here is Carroll talking about the wrist injury for Smith-Njigba that will require surgery.
He's going to get surgery. He's with a hand specialist. Got a slight fracture that we just want to make sure that we do the right thing to ensure that he gets back as soon as possible and as safe as possible. We're going to be optimistic about it. 3-4 weeks, we'll see what happens.
Said it was similar to an injury suffered last year by Tyler Lock. Remember, he had a hand-finger injury. Drew Lock, nice throw, drops it in, and there goes Smith-Njigba heading for the goal line, gets dragged down and just lands on it. Yeah, it's amazing injuries like that don't happen more often. The way those guys are moving, how fast, and the power and the force is applied to the human body. It's the same flesh, blood, and bone the rest of us have. Came down on that wrist and will need surgery. 3 or 4 weeks. We'll see when he's back. I mean, they're good enough that they can make do without him. But, man, what a difference he's going to make to that offense when he's 100% and he's back out there.
Yeah, no, agreed. I mean, we were all excited about the potential of what they could do on that side of the football, right? I mean, with those two guys on the outside as far as Lockett and DK Metcalf and him working the middle of the field and reading coverages and option routes, and that's kind of what he's made for. Yeah, we were all excited for that potential. It stinks, but it's not season ending. It is a wrist, so he should be able to keep his legs in shape and everything like that. And when he gets back, I don't think it'll take too long for him to, kind of get back to 100% and be all systems go again. So we'll see where it goes from there. But the Seahawks, they're ready. They can handle, a week or two without him for sure. They got enough firepower on that offense. But, it just stinks as a fan, and it stinks as far as their overall potential. But at least it's not a horrible season-ending injury.
They open the season September 10 at home against the LA Rams. And, look, there's some buzz around the Seahawks. They are one of the teams, in my mind, and I think yours as well, just on that tier below the 49ers and the Eagles,
right?
Where you got Cowboys, you got Seahawks, you got Giants, you got who's going to rise up and maybe give the 49ers or the Eagles a run for their money before the 49ers and Eagles inevitably meet in the NFC Championship. It feels like the Seahawks are in that cut. And by the way, we spent a lot of time in the offseason talking about money that players make, and we make the argument from time to time, why do the fans line up with the billionaires instead of the millionaires? Why do you resent the players? They really do go through some stuff, and we get numb to this idea of surgery. Oh, he's only out 3 or 4 weeks. Oh, it's no big deal. It's minor surgery. It's still, they're gonna take a scalpel, they're gonna cut on your body. You're going to have a scar from it. They're going to go in there, and they're going to start messing around with stuff that ideally isn't messed around with tools. And, you have the possibility of infection and all the things that go along with it. It is not a pleasant part of the existence. And the professional football player accepts it, embraces it, and when it happens, he deals with it. But that's part of what they're getting paid for. There aren't any owners that have to have surgery because of anything that happened in the course of owning the team. It's the players who have to have surgery, and we hear it so much we're just desensitized to it. So I just wanted to mention, folks,
you're right.
As you ponder your position on why you're more inclined to support the billionaire instead of the player that you tune in to watch. Remember, they're human beings, and they have to go get their bodies fixed repeatedly throughout the course of their career. It's brutal. Repeatedly fixed,
fixed when you don't even hear about it, playing through stuff that you don't hear about, where it's like, oh, this is miserable today, but I got to warm up and try to make this happen at practice. It's a brutal sport that way. And, hey, can we show that play again too? Hey, he's a young player, Mike, and I kind of saw this happen live the other night when it happened, and he's excited. He's learning. Watch his left hand, Mike. His left hand, he puts it down. This is like the Tua jiu-jitsu. You got to just go with it. He puts his left hand down there to break the fall. and just go with it. And that's what hurt his wrist. Look, he won't move his left arm if you watch as the rest of the highlight goes, even when he comes off the sideline. But watch the left hand go down there. And I believe it was that, but see, even right there, he was letting it hang, and I remember watching it live. He didn't want to hit anybody with that hand at first, but, yeah, a little bit of a learning experience for him as well.
You got to do that roll. That's right. You got to learn how to just kind of go with it.
Right.
The more you fight it, the more you're going to get something in the way of the forces that are happening as the body strikes the ground. And a lesson learned by Smith-Njigba and vicariously by others out there who are trying to understand how to avoid injury. One way to avoid injury is learn how to fall and not get your body injured as it's going down. Sometimes it's unavoidable, sometimes with a little awareness. And it's hard when you go on full speed. It's hard to be thinking of those things.
Definitely.
But that's part of the challenge if you want to stay healthy over the long haul. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.